You seem to still be up there somewhere.
Maybe I am. There are flying saucers.
Supposing they're Martians or something in there.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Weird Wednesday. I'm itsasherz and this is
Cassie.
Cassie, how was your weekend?
It was good, I think. Yeah.
It looked good. I saw it on social media.
Oh yeah, that was the weekend. Just our plans got ruined because we were gonna go skiing, and then it got like super warm, and then it got really, really rainy. So that's probably not a good condition for skiing, especially when you're 37 and you've never been skiing before.
Yeah, fair.
You know, like
That's fair.
just wasn't gonna end up well for me, I didn't think. So I mean, Hunter went with Brandon and worked on the rental house, and John hung out with me, and I let him do whatever he wanted to do, and he decided he wanted to paint in nature. So when we went outside, it was raining, so we had to go to the pavilion at the park and paint. And it was raining and windy and like 35 degrees, and we were there for about an hour, and then he finally was like, I can't feel my hands, we gotta go. So we went to Walmart, and he wanted a book, but he thought that it would be cool if we read this series together. So instead of buying one book, I had to buy one book for each of us.
Yeah.
And then we read like 2 chapters, and he fell asleep during the 3rd chapter when I was reading. And yeah, after that was dinner, and then we just relaxed. And I work Sunday like I do every Sunday.
It sounds like a really nice weekend.
It was really good. My kids are really cool. Hunter got golf clubs that finally came in from Christmas. He wanted to go to the driving range, but they got like 4 inches of snow Sunday when Brandon was taking him home. So he was like, I'm going to pick you up early next weekend, and we're going to go then. So
Yeah. Yeah, it was a wild weather weekend for sure. Like,
yeah.
it started off like unseasonably warm and then got like insanely cold and snowy.
Yeah.
You
And you
know?
add in like a day and a half of rain.
Yeah, I was really upset when I went to go leave my house on Sunday morning and I like couldn't. I'm like, these roads are bad. Why?
Right.
So it was comparable. I understand. You were just talking about how boring things have been lately, and they just have been so boring.
Yeah.
I mean, really haven't watched anything cool. I really haven't done anything cool. I'm starting to get antsy. I've got some.
I watched Stranger Things on Wednesday. I watched all of it, the new season, and I wanted to finish it. So if we had to talk about it, we could talk about it now.
That's right. You were angry. Well, we can't spoil it, so that's the hard part. But you were angry with it. You weren't satisfied.
I was really, really good up until the last hour. And then I got angry.
Feel that way. Yeah. I think that's the general consensus. It's all right. But I just still feel like there's, I don't know, when that last episode of season, not the finale, but when part 2, when it ended, it felt like pretty much nothing happened during part 2.
Yep, I agree.
And you're like, okay, so how the fuck are they going to wrap all this up in 2 hours, right? And then it just still kind of felt like they really didn't, I guess. They just kind of end it and then go on to like the epilogue. And you're like, okay.
For like an evil character that's so bad and everything revolves around this character, there should have been a lot more.
Yeah. There should have been like, they meet up. It should have been like a Freddy versus Jason. You know how like they'd meet up, they'd fight, they'd separate, they'd come back together again, fight some more. You get a little fight every little bit.
Yeah.
And then some story in between. Like it should have, I don't know, it should have been more like that. It's for something that people have waited literally years to happen.
My mom sent me a trailer the other day, speaking of Voorhees, It was a movie for Jason Voorhees versus the Jeepers Creepers guy.
Really? Is that
And
real?
I was like, and I told my mom's like, what do you think about that? I said, I think it's going to be stupid as shit because neither one of them talk.
Well, that's true.
It's like, at least Freddy talked.
That's a good point. They're just going to be like motioning at each other.
Right.
That's. I don't watch the Jeepers Creepers stuff.
I don't even know if it's real. Like, I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about it. I feel like that would be huge news.
Right.
You know, I don't know. Interesting. You gotta ask the Jims.
I will.
They'll know.
Jimbo, I know you're listening. Text me.
Let's know. Is this real? We gotta know if this is real. Yeah, I feel like there just hasn't been anything good to watch lately. You know, just kind of
No.
rewatches of other stuff and things. So I like I said, it's been real boring. I'm not gonna fill everybody's time talking about how fucking boring everything's been. I think probably everybody's in that mode right now. It's January. It's tough.
Yeah, I downloaded the Body Fitness app again, so I did 3 workouts today. That's how like boring it's been.
I know. Yeah, I fucked up my life. Here's what I did. Okay, I've ruined my life. I started playing a video game. And when I talk about this to you guys, you know, I'm always like, I always sound so people are like, why do you even play video games? You always sound so sad when you talk about them. It's because it will consume everything about my life. It will. And depending on what it is. And the problem is that the game that I'm playing is a game that I have already played once before. And I'll tell you a little bit about it. It is called Persona 3. Okay. Because it's the third in the Persona series. And
did the first 2 consume you?
I actually have never played the first 2.
Okay.
So the very first one I ever played was Persona 3. A lot of people listening to the show, if you guys play video games, you probably played Persona 5. It was popular here, but the first one that I ever played was Persona 3 years ago when I was married, before I had my child. Okay. And my brother-in-law at the time, him and my sister-in-law would come over, and he would tell me and my husband all the time about how great this fucking game is. You guys have to play it. And we didn't really jive with his like taste in games, so we're like, yeah, it's probably not that good, whatever. Well, he brings it over, and it sat for like months unplayed. So one day my husband goes to work, I pop it into my PlayStation 2, and I start playing it, and I'm so blown away by the entire intro and everything of this game. I call my husband at work to tell him how awesome this game is. Okay. And so he's like, oh, I have to check it out when I get home. And he comes home, and I let him play it for a little while. So it's a JRPG, so you don't really play each other's save file. You got to have your own. And, you know, you go through the whole story, and it's hard to play an RPG with another person.
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of have to have your own saves and stuff. Well, him and I got so obsessed with this fucking game. It was never off of my TV. Never. Not once. We had to take shifts. Okay. So like he would play for 2 hours, and then I'd get to play for 2 hours. And like if one of us like progressed in the storyline, like whoever was like further along, like the other person would have to like leave so they didn't have the game spoiled for them. And like all of our friends would come over, and they'd be like, every time we're over here, all you guys are doing is playing that fucking game. Like we were obsessed. It got to the point where my PlayStation 2 would not play any other game except for Persona 3. And the Persona 3 disc, wouldn't work in any other PlayStation 2.
Seriously?
Yeah, it
I
wouldn't
didn't
work.
even know that was possible.
Me neither. Me neither. And yeah, it was the first video game that ever made me cry. So because it's hard. So these games, I tell everybody, people ask, what kind of video games do you play? And I'm like, oh man, I love Mega 10. And if you know, you know, and if you don't, just don't even bother talking to me. But they're known for being like extremely difficult in the sense of like, if you fuck up in the beginning of the game, you fucked up the whole game. Like some of these games aren't beatable unless you do exactly the right thing in the very beginning. So it could be so it's not necessarily difficult. It's just that you have to know what the fuck you're doing. You don't necessarily need to know that to play a Persona game. They're more vanilla compared to all the other games that this company makes. But anyway, so this game had ruined my life once before, and what did I do? Well, they put it out on the Switch, and there's a different version of it where you play as a girl character instead of a boy character. So I started playing it again as the girl. And I knew better.
Is it exactly what you remember it being?
Not exactly, but yeah, pretty much. I mean, it is.
Okay.
I mean, there's slight differences because this one was actually made for, it's a Persona 3 Portable was made for the PSP instead of the PS2. So there's a lot less animation and stuff in it. But,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I will sit down to play it, and then I'm like, oh my God, it's been 6 hours. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened, or like I need to go to bed, and I'm like, I gotta go to bed. And it's 10 o'clock, and I'm like, I gotta go to bed. I will soon after this. And then it's 11. Now it's 12. Now it's 1. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to wake up at 6. Like, I need to not. So that's what I've been doing, being irresponsible and slacking off on a video game. So,
Wow.
if people know, they know. And I know the ones that know are listening to this like, oh my God, why'd you do it? Why'd you pick it up? I know. I hear you. So. Anyway, that's been my life lately. That on top of this fucking book, trying to get this fucking book finished completely, putting everything in
Yeah.
order. It's almost there. It'll be there. It'll be good.
Cool.
But
It better
I
be,
just want to sit and do it. Right?
because you got a deadline.
I do have for real a deadline now. So, it's okay. I finished Indrid. I'll finish this one. No big
Yeah.
deal.
Same deadline.
And I guess that's what I guess I'm basing my book deadlines off of Frogman every year.
Yep.
So we'll see how that goes year after year. It'll be easy because next I could always do, if I need to, I could pull out volume 2 of Your Strange Guide to Ohio. So, but there's only so
I
many.
mean, yeah, you need to do volume 2.
I definitely will, but I'm saying instead of doing a whole new, I mean, it's already pretty much written. So
Right.
I just got to put it together. So yeah, how about you want to get into some news?
Sure.
I got 2 newses this week.
And then I got one. So what do you want to do one first?
I'm going to do both of my newses.
Oh, you're going to do both together?
I'm going to do both of my newses back to back, and then we'll get into, because I have a lot to say about your one.
Oh, okay.
Because we had kind of just almost sort of talked about this last week. So
Yeah, pretty much. Just
talk about
different
it again.
person.
Different person. So my first news I have here is the case of the ghostly cigarette thief. You ready for this? Police in Moses Lake, Washington responded to a peculiar call around 7:30 a.m. on January the 6th of a man reporting that his cigarettes were missing. They arrive on scene and the man, heavily suggests to these police officers that it had to have been a ghost that took his cigarettes. Listen, he did not misplace them. He couldn't have. He's looked everywhere. Listen, they're cigarettes. And if you smoke, you know where your cigarettes are. He's looked everywhere. Can't find them. Nobody has been in the house, so it couldn't have possibly been an intruder that broke in to steal his couple of cigarettes. And it's definitely a ghost, guys. Definitely a ghost stole this man's cigarettes. The police, of course, showed up. They did not find anything unusual, no obvious signs, right? No prosaic explanations. They didn't find the cigarettes. So they still have this case listed as unsolved. They did take a report in case the man had other reports, in the future to coincide with this one. Yeah, apparently ghosts like to smoke, I guess.
Wow. It's Pablo. I'm going to tell you the story behind this. So Pablo, I work with Pablo, and he likes to move my things. So this asshole will literally take my pack of cigarettes and put them in the most random places you'll never think of, and then go off on deliveries for hours, and I have no clue where the hell my cigarettes are. Or he'll leave the box in my coat pocket and take all the cigarettes out and hide them in different places.
Wait. Okay, who is Pablo?
Just the guy I work with. He's one of our delivery drivers. He's freaking awesome.
Is this a ghost?
No, it's
It's an
Pablo.
actual person.
He's Mexican.
Oh, I thought he was white.
We call him Mexican chocolate.
Oh, okay. So you're saying he's delicious? Is that?
No,
Oh, okay. All right. Well.
no, Martha will kill me.
Is that his wife?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
she works with us too.
Don't mess with the Mexican wife. Yeah, they'll fuck you up. And I
My
respect
little-
hell out of them. They're strong women.
My pequeño poquito.
So, okay, well, you play hide and seek with your cigarettes. It could have been him. Was he even? Was he absent from work recently?
No,
Oh,
he's never absent. He's always there.
he just telepathically moved the guy's cigarettes.
He
in his
did it
mind.
through the PlayStation, probably.
I hope so.
him and the other guy at work, they play the video games, and the other guy's like really big guy, big white guy, and Pablo's this like short Mexican guy, and they playing Battlefield now, and they're on a team, and Pablo's like, "Oh, we suck," and he said, "Well, you should be there because JD, the other guy, he's on the other end of the mic, and he's like, follow me, Poppy, follow me, Poppy."
Aw.
I mean, the size comparison is hilarious in itself.
I like how it's Pablo
Mhm.
and the other guy.
Well, I didn't want to put too many names into it.
He then talked about Pablo and his wife, and now the other guy.
JD.
That's so funny. Yeah, I don't know. This was an interesting story. People report in ghost sightings a lot. The smell of cigarettes or cigars. So I don't know. Maybe there's something to it.
That might be.
Maybe he got.
I mean, if the place is haunted, yeah. Maybe he thought it was an offering.
Ooh, like he's a fae of some type instead of a ghost.
Right.
That would be cool. So there's that story, and then this one is at first I was like, I don't want to talk about that. That's depressing because we all know how this ends, but I'm very happy to report about how it ends, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. So there is a wild elephant that's rampaging through India and has killed more than 20 people since the beginning of the year, which so far is 12 days. I'm sorry, 14 days for you guys. So this wild elephant, it lives in the I'm going to try it. I think it's Jharkhand's forest. And there's a
Okay.
nearby village there, and after dark, the elephant comes into the village and goes on a fucking rampage and terrorizes these people. And again, has killed more than 20 people. Now they think that potentially this elephant has become separated from its herd. And that's why it's upset and confused, because elephants don't typically attack people. Like that is you have
Right.
to like actively fucking with them for that to happen. They're really, they really are gentle giants. Now hippos, they will fuck you up. Stay away from a hippo. Like they will kill you just because it's fun to kill you. Elephants, they don't want none. They're fine. Like, do you leave them alone? They'll leave you alone, no problem. So this is a very unusual circumstance. And like I said, initially I didn't really want to report on it because then I'm like reading about how they have like a search team out there of like over 100 people that are trying to track and locate this elephant. And I'm like, oh my God, they're going to kill
How
me.
hard is it to find a fucking elephant?
Apparently it's difficult because it's still on the loose. And then comes back every night. So it's like, well, then just stake out the village at
Right.
night and wait for it to show up.
Everybody goes to bed by 6. Like,
Right. You just turn all the lights off, pretend you're asleep, and have like the normal people like leave. Like the people that could get, like the women and children, have them leave. But anyway, so I'm like, I know how this is going to end. They're going to kill the elephant. They're not going to kill the elephant. Yes, they are hunting it, but they're going to tranquilize it and put it somewhere else. Take it somewhere else.
what
And
if it didn't like lose its family, but it like saw them get horribly murdered by people, and now it's just taking its revenge?
well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, how do we know these village people? The group, the village people. How do we know that the village people did not kill this family, this elephant's family. Like, 'cause
Right.
they like I said, they don't fuck with people unless they feel like there's a need. Like, they will. If you fuck with their family, they'll all get together. If the poachers kill one of the babies, like, they will get together in groups and kill the poachers. But otherwise, they don't fuck with anyone.
Right.
So no, we don't know. It could be suffering some horrible trauma. I'm just relieved to know that they're not going to kill it. That's
Right.
important to me. And they are an endangered species, and maybe that's why, but like in America, if a bear attacks somebody, like comes into town and attacks somebody, we kill it.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's that. And I think that's real shitty.
And they just say, "There's nothing we could have done." Yes, there is.
Right. I mean, we all know about Harambe at the fucking zoo,
Right.
and that whole situation. We were all pretty pissed off about that, understandably so. And it's like, so it's not fair. It's not fair that we're encroaching on their lives and then we kill them when they are inconvenient to us. And so I love that attitude. I love how they're handling it.
It's like Cocaine Bear.
Well, in all fairness, he killed himself.
It's like Methaphant. It's like a meth elephant. I'm just gonna make another movie, Methaphant.
It's just fucking really jacked up and ready to go. It hasn't slept in days.
Right. It has to stay awake and hide so nobody can find it during the day.
It's hiding, or it's just, yeah. I mean, it just comes out at night and kills people. I don't know what his problem is, but he's upset.
I want to know where it's hiding. Like, when they better like have more to this story when they find it and tranquilize it.
It's in the jungle.
Well, yeah, but is it coming through the same path every night to this village?
Right, you think there would be like trees downed and shit.
Right.
It's like, I don't know.
Covert elephant. He's hiding behind like trees and shit.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Because I feel like this will be something that we'll get an update on eventually.
Mhm.
So that'll be neat. But speaking of updates, this story that you're about to share, we have already talked about on the show before, and I'm not saying last week. I'm saying that we reported on this when it first happened, and I'll get into why. But whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Okay. 100 skulls and mummified body parts found in a Pennsylvania grave robbery case. Jonathan Christ Gelich, 34, was found to have more than 100 human skulls, long bones, mummified hands and feet, 2 composing torsos, and other skeletal items. Most of these items were found in Gelich's basement, but also his car is what gave himself up to police. Bones and skulls were visible in the back seat of his car near an abandoned cemetery on Philadelphia's outskirts. It's been a months-long investigation until break-ins at Mount Moriah Cemetery, where at least 26 mausoleums and vaults had been forced open since November. Mount Moriah is considered the country's largest abandoned burial ground. It's a 160-acre landmark and over 150,000 grave sites. Now, Gelich was arrested walking back to his car carrying a crowbar and burlap bag in which he had mummified remains of 2 small children, 3 skulls, and other bones. Gelich told investigators he took about 30 sets of human remains and showed him the graves that he stole from. Gerlich was charged with 100 counts each of abuse of a corpse and receiving stolen property, along with multiple accounts of desecrating a public monument, desecrating a venerated object, desecrating a historical burial place, burglary, trespassing, and theft. And he's in jail now on a $1 million bond.
So I think it's Gerlach is how you say his name.
Well, so I wrote this out at work, and I'm a waitress, so I wrote it out on the guest check papers, and it's like 2 lines per like actual line. So I wrote extremely tiny because I was trying not to use the whole pad.
That's okay too. Yeah, this is a big story. People, I mean, for me on my social media, like this has been all over. And, I keep seeing everybody talk about it. So, again, I covered this.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was in November as part of the news. And I think you were on the show because there was an article that came out about people complaining from a local abandoned cemetery that the graves were being desecrated and robbed, and they didn't know who it was. It was an ongoing investigation, and I believe
Yeah.
this is that same story. I couldn't find out where exactly that originated from, because now if you look up grave robbing in Pennsylvania, the only thing that comes up is this guy in current news.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm almost positive that was the exact same situation, and they had thought at the time maybe it was just fucked up teens.
Right.
But obviously now we know it's a little different. So the first person that broke the story to me was, guess what? Jeremy Pauly, the guy that we talked about last week.
Really?
Yep. Because, of course, he's also a Pennsylvania oddities person. He knows the
Right.
guy. These are small circles. And, so he started talking about it, and then it was everywhere after that. And
Mhm.
I'm like, wow, I mean, this is all really close together. Like all these people know each other for sure.
Right.
A small community. And while the police are definitely, again, we're going to talk about it again, making it sound like a Texas Chainsaw style House of Horrors. This one is a little
Yeah.
bit. This is different because he's grave robbing, and that's different. We had the talk last week about how it can be ethical, how you can, how you source these
Right.
bodies, or these remains. It's very important.
This is not ethical.
No, this is not ethical. He is definitely not doing it the right way. And so it's opened up this whole discussion even further, in the oddities community about kind of what is ethical, what isn't. The people who, how many people knew that this guy was grave robbing? Because people are coming forward saying that a ton of people knew. A ton of people know that these body parts, a lot of them aren't ethically sourced, and they just don't give a shit. They just continue to buy from them or buy other body parts that they have. I know somebody who has a body that they know has been grave robbed, but they don't care because it was like grave robbed from like 100 years ago, and they're like, well, what's it matter now? The family's not alive and stuff. And so there is this gray area, in this community about obtaining these things.
What do they
And
do with it?
it's just a decoration.
Like they have it like literally like up in their house all the time?
My person,
Yeah.
I can't say because it would give it away.
Oh.
But it is on display.
Okay.
I'll say that for other people to see.
Gotcha.
But it was they got it from somebody's private collection. The private collector probably got it in a grave robbing incident.
So they can't get in trouble for it
Well, I
because
don't
they
know.
legally bought it from a private collection.
So, but that's what we were talking about last week. It's like receiving stolen property.
Right.
So now here we are with this guy, and you can go and check out his Instagram. A lot of people have it's out there. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Dead Shit Daddy. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But if you go and look at his Instagram and you look at some of the shit that he has, like it's got like dirt on it.
Oh yeah.
These aren't like fancy. He's got one, and it's like, and I think it's the one that they mentioned. So they mentioned that, they'd had these desecrated graves at these cemeteries all around the area, specifically though at this abandoned one. And that's how I remember it, because it was an abandoned cemetery and the community was pissed off because nobody's taking care of it because it's abandoned. But they had taken a tip from somebody that said, hey, you need to go check this guy out because he's got a half decomposed corpse like hanging up in his basement.
Yeah, he had a couple of them. Like just
A couple of them, yeah.
I don't even know what are they doing? Like drying out?
Well, he's got a bunch. Like I said, if you go to his Instagram, he's got a bunch. He's got some that are like he's got one, and it's a skull. And it's the eyes of it are, he calls it partially mummified. And I guess maybe that's the correct term, but there's like some meat on there. and stuff. And he's got one that's like, something, it looks like a horror movie prop. It's stretched skin over a skeletal structure. It's black, from the rots, but that's real. And, that kind of stuff you really don't see in the oddities community. You might see
No, like not at
preserved
shows
skin.
and stuff.
No, no, right. You might see like preserved skin, but just the skin. But a lot of the bones and stuff you get, they're clean, right? They're not dirty. Or some people might even paint on them and stuff. But you don't get like ones with flesh on them.
It is
And
dead shit,
so-
daddy.
Yeah, dead shit daddy. That's him. Check him out. But he's got like babies and
Mhm.
children. Obviously he was arrested with child remains. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is wrong with you? But yeah, no, just scrolling through his page, like you could tell, like these things they come from the ground, like, and not like 100 years ago. They come from the ground like yesterday.
Wow.
Now the bodies themselves aren't new, so it's not like Geen would peruse the local obituaries and go dig up people based on that. He would dig up fresh corpses. These aren't fresh corpses; they are all old, probably about 50 to 100 years old. But it doesn't matter. You still don't do that. It's gross. Are you checking them out?
Yeah, there's hair on some of these skulls.
Right. You see the one with the dentures?
Yeah. Oh
Like,
my gosh.
yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's like fucked up. So again, people probably knew and didn't say anything. I
And
just
under every one of them, it says ethically sourced.
God, of course it does. And they're not. He's still
Right.
from cemeteries. They talk about it like he's only been doing this between like November and December. And maybe he was only doing it, but probably not. Let's be so fucking for real.
Well, his first post is from June 29th of 23.
Right. So he's probably been doing this for a long time. Where? I don't know. But he just, I don't know, got lazy, got confident. I'm not really sure. He was like tying ropes to trees and rappelling into mausoleums like a fucking superhero. Like a Batman from space with a smelly finger and a glowing orb. There could be a connection there. No, really, it's crazy. Like I said, I don't know if he just got brave and because of that he got clumsy and careless. I don't know what the deal is until this guy's whole story comes out, but we'll see. He probably has never killed anybody to get them.
No, I don't think so.
And some people are like, well, but grave robbers, like, it's not a grave robbing because grave robbers like take like items from the corpses. Well, not necessarily.
Well,
Like,
no,
if
he got caught with jewelry and a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
He did get caught with a bunch of stuff. But still, I mean, no, it's just if you take anything from a grave, whether that be the person or their items, he was definitely doing it for money. That was his driving force. I mean, but who knows? He could have been a weird sicko. I found out there's people that like to have sex with bones.
That's weird.
I don't even know how that works, but yeah, they do.
Just in the eye socket.
Well, exactly. Or the mouth, right? They
Mhm.
talk about, some of them talk about the different, oh God, the different teeth on the different skulls that are, best. And I'm talking about species. So it's like, it's not, so it's necrophilia and bestiality. And that's fucking weird and gross. But it's a whole thing, I don't want to see that porn. I'm not.
Why did he get? I don't understand why he got 100 counts of receiving stolen property. Like he's the one that stole it.
Because he may have gotten items from other people. So I almost guarantee you they're going to tie him into the fucking Harvard scandal. I fucking promise they're going to, because all those people know each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they may have evidence that, he has received some of those body parts from those people. And they were also,
I gotcha.
they were stealing them from like cadaver, like medical cadavers.
Right.
They weren't necessarily digging up graves. And maybe when they got arrested, that's when he started grave robbing.
Oh, okay.
That's my theory. That's what I think. But
Gosh.
all of this has really made me very interested, even more so in the oddities community, specifically when it comes to human remains.
Hmm.
Um, I want to do something about it. I don't know what yet. I don't know if, we just do an episode on it, or maybe I do something bigger, but like I know all these people. I have access
Right.
to all these people. Like why am I not utilizing that? So I had mentioned that Sophie, which is Jeremy Paulie's wife,
Hmm.
she had made a post about this guy because they're denouncing him completely. He's a lot of people are in the community. And I had commented on it and just talked about how, because like I said, I've been mutual friends with these people for years, and we've never really talked outside of small comments here and there. And I made a post about it, just talking about, how I just kind of wanted to sort of touch base, and I wanted to do something
Hmm.
with this information. I don't know what yet, and I said that I wanted to reach out to both of them at some point, and they Jeremy came on and liked my comment. So he's getting
Okay.
I think he had to go into prison today, I think, or maybe next week. He's got to turn himself in. But he'll be in prison for the next couple of years, so I don't know. Expect something, guys. Again, I don't know what, but my gears are turning. I'm interested in this, the body trade, the human remains, and the ethics of it all, because it just seems like a very thin line between
Well, it
ethical and
doesn't seem like even the people that are into it and know everything about it don't even know the ethics of it, or like what the line is legally and not. You know what I mean?
there's a lot of people. Like, one thing about oddities, I know for sure, and it's one thing you kind of learn early on when you get into it, is like bat taxidermy.
Hmm.
Anything with bat taxidermy is unethical. And the
Okay.
reason for that is because, and most people don't know this, like they see bats are everywhere. You can go to any oddity show, any oddity store, and find yourself a neat taxidermied bat.
Okay.
And they're fairly cheap. And because the thing is that people farm them just to kill them, just to taxidermy them.
Really?
They do. And so it's sad. I mean, that's horrible. you
Hmm.
know? Um It's basically farming. So when you start getting into it, then you learn, oh, that's unethical. Um, so you end up being like, okay, I'm not gonna buy bats anymore or whatever. And I have a bat skull, and I feel terrible about it because I didn't know when I first got into it, and it was so cheap. It was like $5 for a bat skull. I'm like, that's sweet, that's cheap.
Hmm.
But that's why they're so cheap, and that's why they're so easily, readily available. You can go to get on Amazon and get yourself a taxidermied bat. It's so simple. So anyway, people, it takes a minute. You have to know who to talk to and what you're looking for to know what is and is not ethical in that community.
Okay.
And there's just not really a good resource for that type of thing because it's already very strange.
Right. I mean, I haven't been to any of like the actual oddities expos, but I know like some of the shows that I do, they have oddities vendors, but I don't think any of them have like human like remain oddities. Like I think it's just mostly animal.
It's rare. They're hard to find. It's expensive. Human remains are very
Oh, I
expensive.
believe it.
Because back in the day, I had mentioned, I talked about H.H. Holmes at one point and having a conversation with somebody about this. Because really, this guy, what he's doing is very H.H. Holmes. He killed
Mhm.
people so that he could then take their court. Well, he killed people so he could collect insurance money. We did a whole episode on H.H. Holmes. You guys should go listen to it. But he's not the crazy maniacal killer y'all think he is. He's just a cheap bastard. But he would kill people and collect insurance money on their death, and also double dip and take their corpse and sell them to medical schools and make money that way. And people used to do that shit all the fucking time, like all the
Mhm.
time. So the fact that this guy was like digging up bodies just to like clean them up a little bit, or I guess hardly at all from the looks of it, and then sell them, it's very H.H. Holmes, which kind of makes me cringe because you know what? If somebody said that to his face, he'd probably love it because he's fucking gross.
Yeah. Be a big ego booster for him.
Like, oh yeah, I am. I'm super cool, H.H. Holmes. Well, H.H. Holmes wasn't cool at all. So he was a bitch.
Well, in our minds, in his mind, he's probably freaking awesome.
Well, he was a bitch, and so are you, Jonathan Gerlach. You're a bitch. Now he's gonna come for me. He's gonna get out of prison and fucking track me down. But
I
no,
don't
yeah,
know. He's got a lot of counts of stuff. I'm going to
yeah,
be surprised to see what sticks.
it's gonna, yeah, he's gonna be in there a while. So I don't know. Of course, we couldn't go this week without talking about this, and like I said, it's crazy because we literally just talked about this last week.
Yeah. There
And then
might
this
be
news
something
comes
else next week. Who knows?
right at this rate, right? It definitely could be. But I want to do something with it. I don't know what. If you're a part of the oddities community and you listen to the show, let me know. Reach out to me. Let's talk. I'm gonna do some little like investigative journalism on this. So again, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that yet, but I want to. Let's get weird and gross together. And if you're a grave robber, if you're out there robbing graves, let me know and I totally won't turn you in because I want the story. And then once I publish the story, then I'm probably gonna turn you in. But I'm just saying.
Wow. So
You know.
if you're a grave robber and you feel guilty, tell us the story and then you'll get turned. You'll know a date they'll be after you. It'll be on a Wednesday.
Yep. We'll let you know ahead of time. You get a head start. Get your passport together, take off. Go somewhere else.
We record on Monday, so you got a 2-day head start.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But no, really, I mean, I'm super interested in this stuff and definitely want to talk to some people. So let's, my one friend owns a whole oddity shop and I've never done anything with any of this. And now it's time.
Do it.
So, anyway, well, that was good news.
It was.
So, anyway, on to other archaeological matters. It's kind of a fucked up segue. We've talked about this one too a little bit before, and it's a topic that I see people throw around a lot, but I've never really seen anybody get into. They're always like, "Oh, the moon-eyed people," and then everybody in the room is like, "Oh yeah, the moon-eyed people," and like everybody looks at each other, like waiting for somebody to like chime in and give some type of clarification about what the fuck they're talking about and how it relates. But, in the weird world, specifically ufology, this topic, like I said, I feel like it's brought up a lot and then never really expanded upon.
Right.
So,
because like there's not a lot to like confirm recently. You know what I mean?
There's not, no. Like, I mean, this is not really, none of it is really confirmed at all.
Mhm.
We'll say that up front. The moon-eyed people, as far as we know, have never been proven to exist, but there's a lot of potentially anecdotal evidence behind them. And, and then of course, a lot of speculation of if they were real, what or whom could they have been? And so it kind of gets thrown around, like I said, as like a talking point for some reason in ufology. And I still don't really understand that at all.
Like, without getting into anything, the sculptures or whatever you want to call them, I could see where the ufology comes in. But other than that, I'm not really sold on that perspective of it.
A lot of people aren't. Well, a lot of people are for whatever reason. Just because I guess they just want to believe so badly. They look for anything and everything. This is not going to be another shitting on everything episode and telling you guys it's not real. I think there's something here. I just don't think it's what people are expect it to be.
Or it might be. Like, we don't know.
That's true. Fair. That's fair. So let's why don't we get on into it? So we covered the moon-eyed people when we went over Appalachian folklore.
Yes.
Which was a lot. That was a lot. That episode, it was a lot.
Yes. There's a lot of Appalachia folklore. A lot.
We and I feel like we just barely scratched the surface of what there is. But this is definitely a huge part of Appalachian folklore. So the moon-eyed people are allegedly, and I have to use allegedly twice. Allegedly in Cherokee lore, allegedly, there were people already in the southernmost parts of Appalachia when they arrived. So the Cherokee show up to this area, and there's already a people there. The Cherokee called them the Moon-Eyed People. The reason why they called them the Moon-Eyed People was due to their extreme sensitivity to not just the sun, but even like a bright full moon, like extreme sensitivity to light. They seem to live underground because of those eyes. They were described as very short in stature, with pale white skin, and of course those pale blue eyes that they had, with big long beards. I guess for what I don't know, but because there wasn't like shaving back then, probably I would think everybody had a beard.
That's a good question.
Aren't you ever surprised by the lack of beards in history?
Well, yeah, especially like the pictures that you see of Native Americans, and they're all cleanly shaved.
Yeah, it's like what? I mean, there's like some like dudes that just can't grow facial hair. Like, so obviously there's a
But not
genetic
everyone in a whole tribe.
everyone, not one person there. The women got bigger beards,
Right.
So anyway,
Amish.
not much is known about the circumstances surrounding how the Cherokee made the Moon-Eyed People leave. But the Cherokee state that they pretty much, kicked their asses and made them get the fuck out of there. And that they, the explanation that they give is that when they had, overtaken them and attacked them, they'd kicked them out of the area and they, quote unquote, went west. Or in some stories, they, quote, went to Tennessee specifically. They're like, get on out of here. You get to Tennessee. You old Tennessee boy. I don't know why the Cherokees are rednecks, but they are.
Right, and it said that the Cherokee legend says that they attacked during a full moon, so it like hurt their eyes or they couldn't see well or something.
Yeah, they overtook them
like,
using the full moon to their advantage.
Why didn't they just do it in the daytime?
Fair point. All right, everybody's asleep and shit, probably.
Right, like
In their underground cave. So like that is at its bare bones minimum. Like that's the story. That's the lore behind these people. But there's a little bit more to it. Not much more, but a little bit more to it. The earliest, and here's the issue, the earliest written account of these people, okay, now, in all fairness, this is the written account.
okay.
It comes from a man named Benjamin Smith Barton from his book, which is titled New Views of the Origin of the Tribes and Nations of America. Okay. How embarrassing I didn't put the year. It was sometime in the late 1700s. It was post
1790.
There we go. Yep, I was saying it's post Declaration of Independence. But he's writing this book about obviously the Native Americans, and they're kind of trying, sort of, Americans at the early colonizers at that time are kind of trying to find a way to make it work with the Native Americans in the area. So they're going back and forth, and it's definitely case by case with certain individuals. They're trying to kind of get to know the tribes and live alongside them while also still maintaining their dominance because it's their land now. But they know that unless they kill everybody, they've got all these people that they got to take care of. And the people have proven to be useful. Remember, we talked all about it during the first Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah. I was just sitting here trying to think of the guy's name that I was trying to think about. But I don't know.
Squano?
Yes.
Yep. So it was Squano's like the white person name for him, which is terrible. So I think it's kind of racist if we use it. But I can't remember his name either. Fuck. Ooh.
That's what I was trying. I wasn't thinking of that one. I was thinking of the other name. That wasn't the racist
right.
one.
Is that his real name? Oh my God, we're terrible. But it just goes to show you guys that the educational system ingrains this shit in our heads. So I think it was Squantum or something like that because it sounded like quantum. Squantum sounds gross, though. It sounds like like a nickname for like jizz, which is a nickname for cum, which is also a nickname for semen.
Don't make his real name even worse than the racist name.
I'm just educating our viewers about semen, okay? That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. God, what am I doing? I'm doing this. I'm sorry.
Now we can't use either of them.
Fuck. I'm gonna get canceled. Anyway, so they're trying to like find this middle ground here where they still get to take advantage of these people. I mean, that's what it is. That's what it comes down to. And the fact of the matter is that Benjamin Barton did not get this directly from anybody of Cherokee descent, period. He got it from a man known as Colonel Leonard Marbury, which, if you didn't notice, his name's Leonard. He's a white guy, but he was like the intermediary between U.S. citizens and the Cherokee. So he was like the white version of Squanto. I hate to keep using the name, but that's his name. But he was the white version of that guy. And so he's like trying to kind of build the bridge between them. And he says that he starts talking to the Cherokee, and they're talking about like these different structures and stuff in the area. And they're like, oh, did you guys build that? Like, what's that mean? He's like trying to like figure out their culture. And they're like, oh yeah, we built that. It means, it brings us great luck during the winter season or whatever. Oh, did you guys build that? What's that mean? Oh, it just means, we're going to have a good harvest, which is the same thing as what I just said. Did you build that? No, we didn't build that. The Moonite people built that. And he's like, And they're like, yeah, when we showed up, there was these little short fuckers that were super whiter than you. And these weird fucked up eyes. And, well, we kicked their asses and told them to get out.
So maybe, like, they were just tired of the same question. Did you guys build that? Did you guys build that? No, we didn't. The freaking Moonite people built it. They
assholes. They just made it up.
Right?
Yeah, but then we're going to start questioning about the Moon-Eyed people. Well, then I guess that's kind of fun, right?
Right.
What did they eat? What
Doesn't
did they
even
weigh?
matter what they say.
Like, finally, a different question. Fuck. But the fact of the matter is that all around the world, not just America, all around the world, there are these structures that seem to have been built by a civilization that predates any written record that we have. So it's all word of mouth. And we've all played a game of telephone before.
Mm-hmm.
So we know how these things kind of, get by. One of the structures in question that a lot of people attribute to the Moon-Eyed people is Fort Mountain in Murray County, Georgia, which was built between probably 500 and 1500 CE.
Oh, wow.
So, a long fucking time ago.
Yeah.
And the Cherokee do not claim it. They say that the Moon-Eyed people built it. It's not them. It's short. It's like the short rock wall formation. And it's short because those fuckers were short.
That makes sense.
Any higher than that, So they just built it as tall as they could, and that was that.
There's like a 3.5 foot wall, like.
Yeah, and that was tall for them. Like, wow, this is really amazing. So there certainly are different areas. The earthworks are another thing. Cassie, you're in Ohio, so you get it. You know about the earthworks. Which there's earthworks all over. But
Yeah.
Ohio's like, we got a lot of them. We still have a lot of them, and that's the difference, is that most of them have been destroyed by people that didn't give a fuck and just plowed right over it to make, farm fields and shit.
But Ohio likes to keep its weird in Ohio.
Yeah, we do. About 40 minutes away from me is Fort Ancient. It has a famous earthwork. It's a whole museum about earthworks, basically, and what they are. And here's the thing about the earthworks: we don't fucking know what they are. Like, we really don't know because they're so goddamn old.
Mm-hmm.
That we've excavated some of them, and some of them, a lot of people are like, oh, they're Indian burial mounds. Well, not always. Some of them just don't really have much of anything. There might be artifacts and things that have been around forever, but we don't know if they were buried there, if they just got stuck during the process. We have no idea.
Right.
And then sometimes, there are bodies in there, but like, again, we don't know if they were put there on purpose. if they died during the formation and they just were like, oh, he's dead. That's just might as well bury him in it. We don't know. We have no clue. One of the most famous ones ever that we have in Ohio is the Serpent Mound.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a giant snake. And when I tell you guys giant snake, I am serious. It's fucking mad. Have you been?
No.
Me neither. I really want to go. But I heard that they used to have this like big watchtower that you can go up, like climb up into and see the whole thing from above. I heard that they've taken that down. So that's
Probably
unfortunate.
wasn't safe.
It probably wasn't safe. But yeah, so these giant structures we know predates the Native Americans that we actually have history on, because they all say, I don't know what the fuck that is. It was here when we got here. So
Right, but then like the freaking fire tower they build to look at it doesn't last for the 10 years, but this lasts fucking thousands of years.
Thousands of years, right? It's a million years. We don't know.
We need to hire some of them Moon-eyed people. Where'd they go?
Right, they make some good shit. Hawaii has their own kind of version of this. It's the Minahune.
Mm-hmm.
And, but same thing. There's all these really old structures there that they don't know where the fuck they came from. So they'll all just say, what's the Minahune? Now, they have stories of the Minahune that are allegedly still around.
Okay.
That's probably the most popular. And even though there's stories of moon-eyed people, too. Maybe it's something else. We'll kind of get into that. But the Minahune is like a kind of a, I don't want to say a cryptid because that's not correct, but like a local legend. People claim that they've seen them, that they've built structures in the area, but they just kind of stay away from us because they're just a more simpler, primitive type of people. But another thing about the Minahune is that they're also small.
Right, just like, what's the one in Philly? The Duendes.
Ooh, the Duende. Yeah, Duende's really small.
That's what I call Martha.
Who's Martha?
At work, my little duende.
You just talk about these people. They're going to become their own little like characters on the show. Pablo and JD and Martha.
See.
That's what I call Martha. And everybody's like, who the fuck is Martha?
My little duende. Duende pequeño.
It's just a little duende. Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. There's these stories of these little people that are ancient out there, and the moon-eyed people just fit right into that slot. But there's no good evidence for them. One of the best pieces of evidence that people say we have are you were kind of talking about them, these sculptures, right? There's these sculptures that were found in the Blue Ridge Mountains. They're made entirely out of sandstone. They were found in the 1840s. And they're two people together, and they're short, and they have these big round heads and these crescent-shaped eyes, and people think that that's a depiction of the moon-eyed people. I don't know why. It doesn't say that they are. No,
it's just somebody's garden ornament.
It's not even from that long ago.
Right.
Someone just made it. They're like, that's my people. It's like their version of stick people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't know. We literally have no clue what the fuck these things are, where they have come from, why they were made, who they depict, if they depict anything at all of any value. We don't know. But people say that it's the moon-eyed people, and there's proof. Another bit of proof that people like to use is in 1882. An article came out in a publication known as the Cherokee Phoenix, which detailed the discovery of tiny skeletons in tiny stone coffins found in Sparta, Tennessee. So they're about 19 inches long. The skeletons, of course, have all but disappeared. The only evidence of this, period, is this article written in 1882. What's interesting about them being in Sparta, Tennessee is, guess what? The Cherokee people said that that's where they went to. That's where they chased the Moon-eyed people off to, was Tennessee.
Okay.
But I don't know. Let's see if you can play Tobias for a minute. Cassie, do you know what's wrong with newspaper articles about stuff like this in 1882?
What would Tobias say? I don't know. God.
You don't know? It's okay. I do. I know that part very well. Okay. There was this little thing that happened all the time called yellow journalism. Okay. Is it ringing a bell now? There's like so many like Tobias has like so many things out of his mouth. As soon as it comes out, you're like, oh god, here we go. It's yellow journalism, the wild hunt. It's another Tobiasism, and tabletop role playing games. That's
Yep.
and Bigfoot penis. That's right.
Chewbacca now.
Oh god. But yeah, no, there's this thing called yellow journalism. So in order to sell more papers, publications would often publish stories that were very heavily embellished or just straight up false, not real. They would just make shit up because there was really not a lot that you could do at the time if they just made shit up. Like
They call that the Star now.
or Weekly World News.
Mhm.
But at least Weekly World News, like we all know that's not real, but there's definitely some that, like you said, the Star.
TMZ.
Gosh. Hey, but at least they get all the celebrity deaths correct every fucking time.
Right.
To like, they're the first people to ever break the fucking story. And it's like, how? I think TMZ kills people. That's my conspiracy. They
Oh
kill
yeah,
celebrities.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, like they're the fault. I'm gonna get sued for this. But they're the ones at fault, and that's how they know when people die because they're the ones killing them.
Could be.
So anyway, so
Let's
the
move
problem,
on.
problem is that this could be real, or it could be completely made the fuck up, or it could be somewhere in between. We have absolutely no way of knowing whatsoever if this was a legitimate article, or something that they wrote based even off of the lore and legends that supposedly these people were shunned off in Tennessee. We have no clue. So that's, as far as like evidence goes, that's really it, you guys. That's really it.
Yeah, there's not a lot at all, if any. I don't even know if that's considered evidence. Like,
Right. I mean, that's what people point to, for these moon-eyed people. Now, let's pretend for a minute that this is real. Obviously, there were people before the Cherokee. It's not that far-fetched to think that the Cherokee showed up to migrated to a different area, found another tribe there, and told them to get the fuck out. Like,
right.
that happened a lot back then. So, was it a weird race of potentially albinos or aliens, or, what or who could these people have been? And are they still around now? Again, some people think that this is something supernatural, and I don't really know why. Because one, like, probably the most famous theory is that if the moon-eyed people existed, it's probably the Welsh.
The ancient Welsh settlers.
Yeah.
They're their
So-
own, like, cryptid race now.
They have a whole country. It's just the Welsh. They're abnormal. And that is a possibility. No, or mostly the Welsh, or just white people in general. There's a lot of arguments about who came to America first. We don't know. It definitely was not Christopher Columbus. We know that. At minimum, we know that. But we
Do
don't
we
know.
really? No, I'm joking.
Right. I know, right? I don't think anybody's even ever been to America still.
Right.
2026. It's just not even real. But we know it wasn't him. We know other people of other races, of other cultures have been to the Americas, mostly the Spanish. But the Welsh have this story of like these settlers that went and traveled and they made it to America. Now they never traveled back, but they
Mhm.
made it to America and they started their own tribes here in America, much like we did eventually when the colonizers, came here and did their thing, and they made a life here. And but then eventually maybe couldn't cut it, or maybe they had merged in with Native American tribes in the area, because there's some reports of certain Native American tribes having very interesting traits like blue eyes, lighter
Okay.
skin, things like that. So obviously these people were reproducing somebody else that was not them to get those traits. But we don't really know who or what or why. We don't really have those details. Going further. So there's this huge conspiracy that again, these are Welsh settlers, and they're just white people, and they just they weren't accustomed to the sun. That part doesn't really make any sense to me.
Right. I've never met like a family of extremely short white people with giant beards that live underground.
The living underground part, that's important. But maybe they lived underground because they were afraid of being above ground because of the natives in the area. Because
Right.
they're not supposed to be there. I don't know. But like, I don't know why they would have an issue with the sun. People with lighter eyes do have more sensitivity to the sun than others. I have green eyes. I can attest to that. And I think a lot of people, if you live in a snowy area and you go outside and it's sunny out there and the snow is fresh on the ground, you fucking can't see shit.
Yeah, I have blue eyes. Yeah.
Right. Like, you go out there, you're blinded, But people with blue and green eyes definitely have more sensitivity than people with like brown eyes. So, but it doesn't keep me inside all day long. Like, I'm never like, I'm not
No.
going to go outside because it's too bright.
What's that disease where like people are allergic to the sun and they're all pasty and
Mothman 46. Well, okay, never mind, because he doesn't have pasty,
no.
but he's allergic to the sun.
Like Bubble Boy or whatever.
I thought Bubble Boy had an immune issue.
He had like everything. That's why he was wrapped in a bubble.
That's a good call out for me. I haven't seen that one in a while.
I don't know.
There's
You know what I'm
albinos.
talking about.
Yeah, albinos have that issue.
Yeah, but isn't there like a legitimate disease where like they can't be in sunlight?
Like, well, yeah, you have people that are allergic to the sun.
Hmm.
But like, my brain's like, the gears are turning because I'm like,
Right.
that sounds familiar. But I don't have an answer for you. So.
Right, okay.
If you were waiting for one.
That's what I was waiting on, the answer.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know that. That's I don't have that one this time. But I kind of know what you're talking. I'm kind of picking up what you're putting down. And stuff like that is typically genetic, right? So you could
Right.
have a whole race of people that do have this weird fucked up genetic disorder, and so they just
That are all dwarfs. They all have dwarfism.
and like, maybe they're super allergic to the sun, and the Cherokee are like, get the fuck out, and so they leave, and then they died trying to find somewhere else to go. I don't know.
Yeah.
That definitely could have been it. But a lot of people think that they're just white people. Now, the reason why this is not like completely owned by anybody is because it's incredibly racist. Because they're kind of attributing these super ancient structures to white people. And there's this weird whitewashing in history. It's kind of what happens with like ancient alien stuff. They're like, well, the Egyptians couldn't possibly have built the pyramids, so it has to be aliens. And some people think that it's racist to say that, to assume that black people are so inept that they couldn't possibly build a pyramid, and it had to have been a super advanced race because it couldn't have been them.
Oh my gosh. Like that never in 37 years that has never came into my head a thought of that being racism.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm not having a dog in that fight. But that's what they say. And that's what they say about, the same thing with these white settlers. They're like, it's just a way for like colonizers to, not necessarily colonizers now, but colonizers then, because that's who was writing these stories, were white people.
Mm-hmm.
For them to give credit to these ancient structures to a civilized race of white people.
Even if the whoever wrote that story about them is giving the credit to the white people for building those structures, ultimately in the end made them a bunch of giant pussies because they got destroyed by this tribe that's just like, oh, they're just some like creepy white people that were afraid of the sun.
Right. And then the natives came in and kicked their fucking asses or
Right.
whatever they did, But yeah, no, I agree with that. So I don't know. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the theory, but okay, well, it's there. Other people say that, again, they're aliens, right? Obviously, they're aliens. They have
Right.
round heads and pale skin and big eyes, and We all know the Greys hate the sun, I guess. I don't know who thinks that or knows that or why they think that's a thing, but I don't think it's a thing.
No, that isn't like the sun more prominent in space.
I mean, you would think that they would be able to fight off things like the sun easier than we could. You know,
You just see like a bunch of grays in sunglasses now because they don't like the sun. Like
well,
they just came here to get their Gucci sunglasses.
Some people have posited the idea that like the black eyes are actually like a covering, like a protective cover. It could be. Like that's
That
their
could
type of
be.
sunglasses, but that doesn't mean anything. I wear sunglasses, and I'm not gonna die if I don't. Well, maybe. I mean, I guess you could get cancer in your eyes, from the sun. But anyway, I'm just saying. There's no other reason to believe that these are aliens.
No.
Like, except for just the soapstone structures that we don't even fucking have any idea if they're related at all.
The like 1800 version of a garden gnome. Yeah, those things. No.
Yeah. We don't know. So I don't care about that one. I don't care about that one at all. I'm just going to throw that one away. Fuck it.
Every single like idea has its holes. So it doesn't like I don't know.
The only one that makes even a shred of sense to me is people with albinos.
Okay.
Because albinos, they're sensitive to the sun. They have pale white skin. I don't think they're smaller than other people, but they certainly could be.
Do they have a history of living underground?
Back in those days, yeah. I mean, back when
Seriously?
everybody lived on the ground instead of like in houses and huts. We're talking about, potentially if they were here in 500 CE, like, yeah, if you were an albino, you probably would try to live underground or in a cave or something. But like,
Yeah, I could see a cave.
I would probably try to live in a cave. I don't get
Mhm.
rained on and stuff.
Well, yeah, I'm just not gonna like lay on the ground. I'm not even albino, and I think a cave would be more like
Right, better than just out in the open, I don't think living in caves is strange.
no. If you would have said like a group of people living in caves, I mean, that sounds better than just like the picture in my head I have of just people living in a hole underground or in an underground tunnel or something.
That they built, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
and
with
maybe
shovels.
they did. Right, maybe they had their cave and they're like, well, let's build like a tunnel system too. I mean, because why wouldn't you? It's your fucking house. People add on shit on their house all the time. You could. And if you're sensitive to the sun, like, why wouldn't you then switch your sleep schedule to be awake at night versus the
Exactly.
day? Like that, that's the only thing that really
That makes sense.
checks out for me. It's genetic. So,
I just have to like change the way my like brain has been taught all this stuff to like understand it.
yeah. Well, because everybody makes it seem like it has something to do with aliens, and it doesn't. I don't know where that comes from. That is shocking to me, and I still don't get it after doing all this research. I still don't understand. But I mean, again, I think there's something here. There's a story here. But it happened so long ago. There's no way for us to verify it now.
Oh no, and it could just be folklore, like a story that they told the kids to stay out of the woods.
What could have been something that the Cherokee never even talked about at all, and this
Right.
dude just made the fuck up because they did a lot of that too at the time.
Yeah.
We don't know. Or even the Cherokee made it all up. Like you said, they got bored of the same old questions.
Mhm.
Fuck it. We don't want to take credit for that shitty ass wall we built. The reality is
Right.
that we got tired of finding fucking rocks to stack up, and we just abandoned the project. They don't need to know that.
Exactly.
you
So
know,
let's just make up something.
that's not mine. People say it all
And
the
like if
time.
they
and then-
did that, freaking awesome. Cause you've baffled so many people.
people think aliens are real now because of this.
Right.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, this was very underwhelming, but it does still have its point of interest because, like I stated before, these stories of these strange other races of humans, so it seems, even though we don't know that for sure, they happen everywhere. It's
Mhm.
not just the Cherokee that had stories of people like this. Again, I mentioned the Minahune in Hawaii,
Mhm.
and that's not attached to. I mean, really, it's not attached to the Americas. That's its own little isolated area. You've got like you said, the Duende. That's more of a Mexican, Latin American culture.
Yeah.
Somewhere, somehow, and you know what? Let's go back to the Great Iliad thing because here's what we didn't mention: they don't have fucking facial hair.
Right.
Like that's important. I've never seen a gray with a beard. Okay. Never
No.
heard of that shit. So
Those little sandstone statues didn't have beards either.
he did not. You're right. So what up with that, y'all? Alien people? Come on.
Right.
That doesn't even make any sense. Use your head. Okay. Not everything is aliens. Just most things, but not everything. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, there definitely is. There definitely are these stories of these people, and I think that even for them, for indigenous people, these were really mysterious tales.
Mhm.
They had their own way of explaining people before them because there were people before them, but they didn't really understand it or know how to articulate it, or just like any folklore builds, right?
Right.
They have their own reason for believing what they believe in, and then that's what they tell us because that's what they have. And we don't have any. We're not going to be like, oh, okay, well that doesn't sound real, so I don't believe you. We're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, you're from here.
Right.
So
And like they could just be like the tales that they told the children to keep them safe because how else were they going to keep the kids safe back then? Like it was said the moon-eyed people only came out at night because the sun was too bright for their eyes. So if you would go out at night and they would abduct you if you were on your own. So it kept the kids close to home, close to the village, and not out running around in the woods.
which is dangerous for kids.
Right.
It's not safe. You can't just go running around the woods by yourself. So it definitely it could have been that. I think that also we have these modern day sightings, and they're not modern day sightings. People have this idea of talking about the moon-eyed people as if they are the creatures from the descent.
Wow.
I
Not
mean,
what
and
I picture in my head, but okay.
no, not from like what the information that's given, but like
Right.
they're blind cave dwelling pale skinned creatures.
Mhm.
Those are like monsters, and there are people who do have reported sightings of these strange pale humanoid things. They're called pale crawlers. The bend over demon is one of them. I never, for the rest of my life, will ever call. He's not just the Dover demon. He's always going to be the bend over demon. But that's a story of these strange pale humanoid creatures that people describe.
Right.
And people definitely have those sightings. But to go, oh, it's a moon-eyed person, somehow that's racist, okay? I don't know how.
Right.
I don't know in what way. But that's fucked up, and you shouldn't do that. It gives me the ick. Okay, I don't know why, but it does. No, I don't know. People mix legends all the time. Those pale humanoid things people also call skinwalkers, and like that's not even like that is
No.
like
That's not the
racist.
same thing.
That's not even what a skinwalker is, y'all.
I
You know,
read that they compared the Moon-Eyed people to being what was described in the Kelly Hopkinsville goblin incident.
interesting. Except they had like metal skin,
Right.
so I don't know.
Because this said witnesses reported silvery skinned creatures with light sensitive eyes. So that's what some people are comparing them to.
I mean, no, I just disagree. The moon-eyed people just seem like human beings.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Kelly Hopkinsville goblins seem like human beings.
Not with the descriptions that they have. No.
No. So that's because I mean the moon-eyed people don't have like large ears or anything. Like
Mm-mm.
they have these huge ears sticking out of the side.
Not like the Santa Isabel entity.
Yeah, he's more of a Hopkinsville goblin, like a
Right.
full size.
That's exactly what I thought of when I saw a picture of him. I was like, oh.
You didn't even bring that up, not once, but that's a good catch because that's definitely what that looks like.
Hmm.
Wow. Yeah, no, I don't I think that's a reach. I think people are hurting themselves to hit that one. That's a hard sell. That's a hard sell for me. I mean, but again, all they're doing is taking like one aspect and they're going, "Oh, it's similar." Like,
Right.
and that's not like I have red hair, okay? So, and then let's just say I also had a cat with red hair. That's like saying that we're the same because we both have red hair. We're not.
I don't know. Did your cat have natural red hair or did you dye it?
Well, people don't need to know, okay, what the natural hair of my cat is. All right.
Okay.
No, I don't care. No, I color my hair. It's expensive. It's
Yes.
expensive, and I need you guys, if you want me to continue to be a hot redheaded lady, to join our Patreon, patreon.com/WednesdaysTalk. Fund my hair, please. You love it. I love it. We all benefit.
It's the only way we can find you in a crowd.
That's what I tell everybody. I'm like,
At Mothman, like, you have to find the red hair. Like, it's the only thing you're going to see.
Yep. I tell everybody, I'm like, just look for the red hair. I'm the redhead. and they're always like super intimidated because they're like, oh, there's tons of redheads. Then they see me, they're like, oh yeah, she's got
That's the hair.
if I meet anybody, I helped this. I guess I'm gonna brag. I helped an old lady, and I helped her learn how to make things on Canva.
Okay.
Somebody that she was on a local Facebook group. She had asked, "Hey, can anybody help me? Teach me how to use Canva?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can. Why not?" So I met her at a local coffee shop, and she had like sent me a picture of herself beforehand. I was like, "This is me. This is what I look like." I'm like, "Great, I have red hair. You'll know it." I walked in, she knew it.
Yep.
Yeah, no. But I'm just saying again, back to my point, right? Me and a cat are not the same species. We're not the same type of animal. We're both animals. We're not the same type of animal. Again, a hippo and an elephant. They're both big. They both have leathery skin, but they're not the
Yeah.
same thing. They're different.
Maybe this elephant has light sensitivity too. That's why he only comes out at night and kills people.
He's a moon-eyed elephant.
Yeah, I wonder if he's whiter than usual elephant.
And he's getting revenge for his fallen brethren of the past.
Right. Like on the grayscale, he's at the bottom, like almost white. So like
the village used to be his people's village, and the people came and kicked him out. Now he's back for more.
and he lives underground. That's why people can't find him during the day.
Yes. Poor guy. I feel so bad for that elephant. I hope he finds what he's looking for.
Yeah.
Or who he's looking for. Whatever happens first.
What if he like gets somebody and then he just stops? Like that was the one.
He could. I hope he. I mean, well, if that's the one, they deserve it.
Right. I just want to like. He just walks away after that. Like
fuck with
never
elephants.
returns.
Leave them alone. They're not bad people.
Right. Not at all.
Not even close. Go after the grave robbers. Those are bad people. Leave the elephants out of it. Anyway, I guess I don't. I mean, this is a shorter episode. I don't really have anything else to add. I'm trying to squeeze everything I can, but you can't get water from a rock or whatever the fuck it is they say. Water
Right.
from
It's just like I said, like I was so bored at work today. I tried to deep dive into research and I couldn't with this because it's an old folklore tale that doesn't have any recent like witnesses or anything. So I couldn't really go that far.
Yeah. You were bored at work and then you started researching and you're like, man, I'm just going to go back to being bored at work.
Mondays are like not good days at the restaurant because everybody's tired of pizza after the weekend when they eat pizza.
I had pizza this weekend. So
unfortunately, I did too because I was lazy yesterday after work and just brought home pizza.
That's That's the nice thing about working at a food place, though. You can do shit like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm going on 6 years. If I never have to smell a pizza again, I'm probably okay.
You know, when I worked at the theater, I never got tired of popcorn.
Okay.
You think, you know, people always, I mean, I've worked at like McDonald's and stuff, and you get
Mhm.
sick of their food, but like popcorn? Nope.
See, I
Always
hate
good.
popcorn at home, but I love theater
Oh
popcorn.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing about it is that once you work at a theater, popcorn's ruined for you. Like when you work at a place that you could make popcorn, it's ruined for you everywhere
Oh
else.
yeah, I bet.
Like you become a fucking snob. I bought my own popcorn popper at one point, and it's huge. And I'm like, I can't fucking tote this around everywhere. I got rid of it. But you know, you get spoiled. So I found there's a local place that they make like popcorn. They make and sell
Mhm.
popcorn. So I buy popcorn there. Anyway,
See, I'm in Amishville, so it's like it's all kettle corn here.
yeah, which is
I don't
okay
like kettle
sometimes,
corn.
but it's not. Yeah, the supreme is butter salt. I mean, that's
Right.
extra
Like, and
butter.
I like it now that you don't have to buy your movie tickets before you get to the concession stand, like how it used to be. So, like, if I wanted to walk in and just buy a tub of popcorn and walk out, I could. I don't have to buy a movie ticket.
Still cool. I mean, ours is still you buy your ticket, but you could just walk right up. We wouldn't.
Oh,
People do it a
see,
lot.
ours aren't like that anymore. You actually buy your ticket for the movie at the concession counter.
Oh,
I'm telling you, we're
interesting.
not busy. It's not busy up here.
Yeah, you guys aren't busy over there. Damn. Whew.
No, they like the front part of the movie theater is abandoned. Like it's just an empty like ticket counter.
Wow, I'd be pretty upset about that. About being a worker, having to sell tickets and popcorn. I'd be like, oh fuck no.
And it's so expensive now. It's crazy.
It is crazy expensive. Well, we do the movie club, and it's worth it.
Yeah, I guess if you go all the time, it's just
Yeah.
like I don't want to go by myself and I only get John and Hunter like every other weekend. So if there's a movie out that weekend that me and John want to agree on because we're two completely different freaking people, I mean, it's probably not worth it for us.
I go by myself. I'm a by myself movie person. I didn't used to be, but when
Mhm.
I started working at the theater, you just kind of. I mean, you kind of do.
Right.
Some of those weeks, I'd be working 60 hours a week, and I have to see the movie, or people are going to spoil it for me. So I just go
That's
when
true.
I can. So you get used to it. I don't know.
See, I used to manage a Hollywood video and I would take home like 5 movies a night.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's the way to do that. I always wanted to work at a video store. I'm jealous.
Why?
Because I think it's cool. I thought it was a cool job when I was younger.
It's super cool until you have to freaking go in once every 6 months and re-alphabetize the whole freaking store
Well, true.
because people don't know how to put a movie back in the spot it was supposed to be in.
I kind of like that, though. I kind of like tasks like that.
Yeah, until you realize how big each section is. Everything's cool until you get to drama.
Movies that you don't give a fuck about, too.
And it's the biggest section.
all the drama.
Right?
That's
Shit.
fair.
Shit.
I always thought it sounded like a cool job, but they were. I mean, by the time I was old enough to get a job, there weren't anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So it was
Fucking
you know.
youngin'.
Well, there were some when I was in high school, but they were like slowly disappearing.
When did you graduate high school?
Well, I dropped out and got my GED, but I would have been the class of 2009.
Oh, the year my kids were born. Okay.
Yeah. Which is crazy because you're not that much older than me,
I'm not. I graduated in 06.
right? So I mean, the fuck? No, I opted. I got my GED instead. I went to school, went to high school up through 11th grade. Was like, fuck this. I'll just go take the test and be done.
But I do know, like, I had my kids, and when I could return to work, because it took me a while to get back to work because I was like an emergency C-section, and they were in the NICU for 3 months because they were 3 months early and blah, blah, blah. But the time I was able to return to work, I couldn't because the Hollywood video was closed.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, that's when they were closing everything.
Yeah, we had
And going to Redbox, and now the Red boxes are gone.
Oh, that's right. There was Redbox for like a hot second. There was Redbox, and it was like the thing. But we did still have a family video.
Yeah, we had a family video for
For a
a
while.
long time after that, but
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the Hollywoods left. We had a Blockbuster for a while.
I
But I
should
think
take my daughter out to like a video, like a like a vintage store, and have her pick out a movie.
yeah, there's one Blockbuster left in the country, and it's
Yeah.
in Washington.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It must do well. It probably does well just on the tourism alone.
Because, like, when my one friend Amy lives out there and her boyfriend had a Blockbuster hoodie on, I was like, oh, cool with the vintage Blockbuster hoodie. And she's like, no, actually, we have the only one open. It's from down the street. I said, what?
Shit. Are they? I wonder if their merch is expensive
Right?
because you can't get it anywhere else. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, bring back the video store.
I mean, vinyls are coming. Vinyls are back. So, what if
we
video
have
stores come back?
we have a heavy metal record store locally
Mhm.
that just focuses on heavy metal music, which is pretty cool. Like,
Right.
uh, but and then you do have a lot of artists that do release their shit on vinyl now.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, we could listen, guys. It's all about supply and demand. Like, we have to demand those things. We have to put our money towards that stuff if we want that kind of thing to come back. It's all of our fault that it died to begin with, and just nobody wants to. You guys don't want to admit that part.
Right. I
You
would
don't.
rather go drive to a store, pay $3.99 for the movie I want to rent, instead of having to buy 15 different streaming networks and try to figure out where the fucking movie is I want to watch.
Even if some of these fucking movies, if you rent them streaming, it's like $20.
Yeah. It's
I'm not
ridiculous.
fucking paying $20 for a movie I'm not
No.
gonna own.
Right.
Shitting me? Absolutely not. I'll pirate that before I fucking
Mhm.
shell out $20. Serious? I think I'm made of money. I just got my own printing machine over here. Just printing that shit out.
Right.
$20 here and then a fucking movie that I'll watch once. No. Hell no. Ugh. Anyway, we're really off topic. I think.
Yeah, I know. Because we were just trying to drag out a short episode.
Sorry about that, guys. Not really. Next week will be fun. We have a solved episode coming up. I'll spoil it just a little bit. So we'll definitely have a lot more answers in this week's next week's episode. And I think people are going to be really interested in it because it is kind of a hot button topic in the cryptid community. So
Yeah.
super exciting. But with that being said, guys, we'll see you back here next Wednesday.